And welcome to my YouTube. I'm Alan Cook, the proud owner of the Midion painting, which is the newest painting out there that has been lost for over 565 years. This lady here is one of the most magnificent ladies on the planet. She so happens to be the older, more mature Mona Lisa. This little young lady so happens to be a young lady in her teens of the Mona Lisa. She grew up to be this beautiful lady. To get to the point, I'm going to show you how this painting is actually in many different areas, because he's addicted to being a compulsive individual of his works as a copy machine. Looks like I need to tighten this up just a little, and you will see that he has his works very well hidden, obviously, because they've missed it all these years. If I take this particular painting and I put in this general area right here with an overlay of transfer, you can see that his nose right here lays in her hair area, okay, and her face fits in the shadow. But if you actually start off the page, he starts off the page and you can see her, how she transforms in the darkness. Watch how her face 100% fits in this curve, okay, and then she fits in the other diamonds of the stars, and it continues, and he chases her all the way across, So if I start here and then I keep moving it across, look at her eyes shift and blink, and she turns around and ends up it needs to be wider, so it does the transfer. Let me just widen it. And so when she ends up going across, you see her eyes shifting. See? It's hard to go sideways, so forgive me on that. So when you end up with her, see, there's a spot here. So I just have to shorten this side for it to get, or maybe I have to widen this for it to reach it. There we go. See, so she fits perfectly here and moves across, and it changes all the way across. But that's not what I brought you. Look at that, absolutely perfect fit, perfect fit. But because some of these things, they hit dead on to where it transfers. If I pull this down, look at her, there's her face, 100%. Watch, let me zoom in on that face. Watch. Put it back up. Right here. And I'm going to pull it back down. See her face? There she is. You see her? Okay. I'm going to put it back up. I got to scoot it just a hair. See? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I pull it back down. There she is. I put it back up. There she is. Now he ain't in the painting yet, but when he gets moved across, you can see how he's going to fit. Now let me shorten this deal here. I might have to stick with this program for a moment until I get to the next one. But when you see him come on, you can see how he starts to line up in the mountains, and where she lines up, like right here. She lines up here. That means he lines up over here, but real in the light shadows, because he's taller. So he's difficult to see until you reduce him down. In other words, he can be dropped down over here, and then when you go across, because he's everywhere. But this is not just what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you, I'm going to put him off to the side. Wow, I got to really get a big YouTube on that. Wow, that is magnificent. Just absolutely magnificent. Okay, now we're going to show you the concentration in this particular area. Then when I turn around and I show you this particular piece in, it's going to come up looking like this. Now, when you end up with this, it is from this X-ray. And this X-ray actually spells out Salai, S-A-L-A-I. S-A-L-A-I. I'm running out of time. I never have enough time on YouTube. I can do this all day long, but let's see what happens here. Okay. Right here, that's the love one. Then you got this. Okay. This so happens to be the area of his hand. So his hand actually lays down in there. Here's her hair. And his hand lays down in here. So I preset his hand to let you know in a different size. Because look at the size of this hand. So when I put this hand here, let me reduce this for you. Okay. And I put it up in here. You can see where the straight line is. There's many other different lines. If you follow my YouTubes, it shows. You can see the strengths of the fingers, and you can see how it bends and how it bends. Okay? And then you can see the long finger floating in here with the stars. So I pull this down, you can see the stars. You can see the outline of his hand. So you kind of wonder what that's about. Okay? So when you get into that particular piece, you pull this down, and this is it right here. You pull this down, it actually comes out to be, if you take a look at this, this is his skull. The skull is of the Mona having to be, let me see if I can find it. This. Now, this particular area, now you could tell that he loved horses. See this big horse head? And then the body comes back, but there's a body up on top in the darkness. So he has a rider. The same thing is in the Mona, but it gets wilder. If you actually take a look, he's being loved. This man is actually on top of this woman. And when you take a look at that, you'll see that when you see if I can find the one that I'm got buried in here. Okay, well, I'll just turn it for right now because it take. So we'll rotate that one. Okay, so this is this guy. This guy is like this with a pointy hat. He's smiling at you with a clown face. This is a person looking at you. Now I'm going to zoom in on him. That's a guy with a funny face with an eye and a clown's mouth. And then you got a person right here. Now I'm going to reduce it. I'm going to turn it back to 90 so you can see something else. Then you open it back up, the same area. I'm going to reduce this. Okay, right there. Now you're going to see something that is pretty other amazing that's the same as my painting. If you see this, this happens to be in the Mona Lisa. I call it the skull. But if you see this straight line running here in this V, here's the straight line right here, and here's the V starting here. Now the end of that V is this particular area. Now I'm going to go back over here. At the end of the V is this particular area. At the end of this V, right here, is this particular area. Okay, you take a look at the lips. That's the lips. I call it the lips. Which this curvature is the same as this curvature. Okay. Then when you take this particular piece and you really take a look at it, I'm going to blow it up. Okay. I don't know if it highlights into there for you. Let's see here. Okay, there. You can see that the chest, this chest area with the lip, comes across, and you can see this angle going in, which is her chest turned sideways, because that's her face in here. Now I'm going to lift this up. So that's her face. She's turned 90. My painting. That's what he did. And then you can see her face here. See her face? Here's her lips. Here's her eye. Here's her eye. Here's her nose. Here's the roundness of her face, and it goes. And you got her chest, and then you got the fluff of her. I call it the lips for the skull, but it's the fluff of her dress. So if I take this particular piece, shrink it down, then I take this, and then I turn this one counterclockwise, and then I have to reduce it to see it. Okay, then excuse me, I went the wrong way with it. So if I take this one and reduce it, and I take it, this one, and lay it over the top, that's where she would lay. So what I got to do is take this one, because it's darker, and shrink it down. A little more. It's a lot of work. After a while you get better at it. I'm trying to get better at it, obviously. Maybe I'm not doing as bad as I think I am, but it's never go fast enough. There, fits 100%. 100%. See this? Bleeding through on the lips. I pull this back, there's the lips. Same design, same design. You can see this other particular lip right in here, how it goes, and you can see how that particular lip floats right through here. And then he has, that's the way he is. And when you put this back up in here, okay, her head's right here. Now it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but we're going to hold that to her head. And then you can see the outline of a face here too. And you can see an outline of her face here. And you can see a bigger outline and a bigger outline. That's what he does. He makes it grow on top of each other. So Wow, what a find earlier that I told you. I find a lot of stuff in this stuff. I've been continuing. I've probably got about 30 or 40 YouTubes to boot up. I'm so far behind. I just been keep finding more and more finds. There's nothing, not one thing that if I ever tried to cheat or altered. I want you to know that this is his work. This horse, okay, this is absolutely a horse of Leonardo da Vinci. Let's see, was it? Yeah, that's a horse's head. You see it? How it's got the band, a band to hold the horse across, an eye. Here's the head. Okay, that's Leonardo da Vinci. Now, when you actually take that particular piece, and I'm running, I'm into the 15 something, so I'm going to have to say goodbye. I'll get you on my next YouTube. So I want to say, hey, listen, God bless the whole world, the universe, and the heavens, and I want to thank you very, very much. And look at that. You could see when you cut off the piece right there, that blue, it's an eye and a face when you catch certain parts of it. If I move the piece over of the Mona on over, it changes, it throws you off. But if you block some of his pieces, you'll see his faces and things of his hidden works. What he keeps doing is overlaying and confusing on the issues. What you got to do is stay within each frame. Anyway, I hope this boots up. I'm very, very happy about it, and I hope you guys are too. So, hey, again, thank you very much. Say goodbye to Mr. Ed, the horse, and everybody who's about my age probably heard about Mr. Ed. Now, remember, God bless the whole world, the universe, and the heavens, and you have a beautiful, beautiful, safe, healthy life. Amen.